Hey everyone, it's Christy with Crafted by Christy. I have 3 new journals that I want to show you today. They are pretty similar on the inside, so I'll take one and go through it pretty thoroughly, and then I will do a flip through of the other 2. I hope these will inspire you to do some mixed media. I am not a drawer or a painter, and I love how these turned out. All 3 of these are jelly prints on cardstock, and then I've made some markings with random objects on them. And let's just start with one and we'll show you. So the enclosure on this one is not attached. It is silk, silk, kind of an iridescent purple green, and the back is muslin. And I've done some crazy sewing on it with kind of a yellowish and a black and a very pretty charm. And I just half it like this, hold it, bring them around, and bring them back down through, and pull it tight, and then center it where I want it, and that's how I use this closure. I use the yellow thread because there are bits of yellow throughout this little journal. So I kind of just highlighted it in certain spots. There's a lot of purple, aquas, and black. Each of these have a fan, bookmark, dangle, and I tried to put the colors that are in the book in the dangle. This one has a really neat kind of aqua turquoise marbly piece of jewelry, some sari silk ribbon, regular ribbon, some of the muslin, lots of beads. There are actually some paper beads that I made, and I made them so they're not by any means perfect, but they're pretty and shiny. And then paper bead that I didn't make. So that is the dangle and the bookmark. And I have Mod Podged after I did the, jelly plate and stamped the random shapes, made random little markings in the black. I Mod Podged it to give it a slicky feel and seal in all the colors. The inside is the muslin. Everything has the long strings. I left all the strings, and each one has one of these stacked envelopes in the back, and I will show you what those are in just a second. They each have the 3 stampings, or stencilings, have stencilings on the front cover and the back. And this one has some scrapbook paper and a little cluster with some beads on it and a button. This is a index card. No, sorry, this is a library card that has pattern paper collage to it, or decoupage to it, and then I stamped and collaged a little piece, sewed some goodie up there. This is some chiffon. All of these have the note from the bookmaker inside the front. First page is vellum, has some stenciling. This one is a scrapbook paper, has some stenciling and some bling at the top that's just glued on, and it's not glued. The little pieces are not glued. It's glued across the top. I left these so it would give noise and move. The next page is, this is cloth sewn to packing paper and some heavier cardstock. Inside is a coffee filter decoupage to a flashcard. This piece is from Scrapbooking with Me. It came in some, maybe one of the, I don't know, something I ordered. This came in as an extra gift, and I thought it was beautiful. I hope you can see all the colors in here. But yes, Miss E made this one. I've been hoarding it for a long, long time, and I figured I should let it go. This one has some book page that's been watercolored and splattered sewn to it. That is the tab. This is journal, old journal looking digital. This is tea-dye paper with some washi tape. On this side is a doily with the applique and fabric. Here's my Crafted by Christy charm. Tea-dye paper with splatter. Little book tab. This is wallpaper. It's been can't remember if it was watercolor or brush-os. Some tags. This has 2 pockets. A lot of the pieces like this one, I didn't complete. This book is kind of a, I don't know if you'd call it a playbook. I've added all the pieces to, and a book page tag that's been stenciled and has some stamps on it to play with, but I haven't completed a lot of the pieces. Some vintage looking tape. Chinooki Arts has a video on how to make this tape, and I just love it. I use it a lot. It's really easy. This is a calendar page. It has some, this is watercolor paper too that I've done some painting on. This piece is brush-os. Music page with some more of that vintage looking tape. Scrapbook paper with some fringy goodie on this. Edging, some more stenciling. This is book page. This is stenciled. This I call elementary paper that's been, I don't know, this, I made this so long ago, I'm not sure if this, I think this was Distress Oxide inks that I watered down on a stamp pad and then smushed it. Some tea-dye paper. This is actually faux book page that I've tea-dyed. And these 2 pieces on all of the books I've stenciled so that when they're closed, the stencil continues, but they're separate pieces. This is catalog page that I just thought was really pretty. Has some washi tape. Have a tea-dyed map. This is watercolor paper that I have. I believe that is actually watercolor, and I've done some random markings and stamping. And that's the center page on all of them, that piece. It's a heavier watercolor piece. And this is a flashcard, and it's been glued to a old ledger looking page. It's a digital, sewn around. There's a brad at the top. This is some of that wallpaper and some eyelash trim. In the center, there are scrappy strips on each side. It's been sewn with pieces that are actually in the book. And on all of them, I put the coffee dyed cards. This one's an Uno card. This one's a plain card. Very grungy looking. I also included a piece of my attempt at eco-dyeing paper. Not the best, but I'm sure that with all the goodies included, you can make it look very beautiful. And that's the center with a piece of ribbon. Of course, I left the long strings if you want to add beads. The back of the watercolor paper. The other side of that magazine page with a cluster on it. Random things, doily, little embellishment there. And see how these are stamped. Once they're together, it looks like a complete stencil, but they're actually two different pieces. Little charm. More stenciling. Put in a hint of the yellow. This one has some ribbon looking trim. It's kind of gold, or I'm sorry, silver. More music paper that's been tea dyed. The brush paints. The other side of the calendar. Tea dyed paper. This is another library card that I've collaged the pattern paper to and put, I believe, distress ink I've smashed in there. Done some sewing and butterfly stickers. This is a removable piece. Little music paperclip. This is made from repurposed cellophane that I glued book page around and decorated a little bit on both sides with stickers and stamps. And there's just writing spots inside. You could hinge this to a page. More of the watercolor book page that's been splattered. This page has been splattered and tea dyed. Tea dyed with more of the distressed looking tape, or old tape, aged. The other part of that printed ledger paper, I think that's so pretty. I think these ledger papers are maybe vintage by me. It's a belly band. This piece is from Tina, Shabby Dabby Doodah. And the back is blank. And again, I didn't decorate or embellish, but I included lots and lots of things. It's a belly band. It slides all the way through. Little notepad. I've included all the things to decorate your pieces. This is packing paper. Little card. Be happy, be bright, be you. Some ribbon. There's vellum here. Lots of the fabrics and things that are used throughout the book are used on this piece. Here's the back of the book with the, sorry, that was Fred. More of the jewels. It's been stamped with a bird cage and birds, or stenciled. And the end of the book. And in the back of the book will be the stacked envelopes. Okay, there is a stacked envelopes in the back. This is inspired by Natasha Treasure Books. There are 7, I believe, on each. Some of them I've made the envelope. Some are envelopes that I got from secondhand stores. This one I made. But each envelope is filled with goodies that will coordinate with this book. Just different things. Some are handmade pieces, some are cutout pieces, like these are from Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah. This is a piece that I smooshed on distressed oxide ink. It's a label, and I've sewn through it. It's actually 2 pieces, so you can make it one small, one big, or however you want to use that in your book. But there's lots of, like this envelope has lots of different tags, some hand-sewn pieces. I thought this would be a good pocket, some vellum. I got sidetracked. I meant to flip all the way to the back. This one flips up and down. There's a little pocket here. This was a piece that I die cut, and I couldn't get it to cut all the way through, but I thought it ended up looking really cool anyway, that it could be glued to a page in a cluster or something like that. So I went ahead and included it. So this envelope flips down, has a little pocket on the front and a pocket inside, and the goodies on the inside. The back, the big envelope, this one I made, this is just a sticker, is filled with all of the offcuts. So you can make your own tabs, clusters. If it's in this envelope, it was used in the book in some shape or form. Some little end pieces that I sewed. This is a scrappy notebook that can be definitely decorated. A piece of like deli paper. Thought this would be fun to collage some things too. And that's what the big envelope has, a lot of the offcuts from the book to decorate with. The next size has, as I showed you, the little flip down one that has more offcut pieces, a little baggie with the fabrics that were left, and some buttons. Goes in the little one. This one has lots and lots of different pieces and tags that I didn't complete, but I did decoupage napkin to this one. This is an index card that I did some painting and stamping and stenciling. Just some random writing spaces and textured paper. This is an old summons. Never could find the year on this, but each of these include one of these. This is like a plate that you can put on the front of your page. It has a little pocket. You could put clusters here. You could glue down just 3 sides and it would be a double pocket. Of course, I'm sure you know all these things. It was really hard to not decorate fully. I love over decorating. It seems like I always make my books too fat. But this time I thought it would be fun to include all the things so it's kind of semi-decorated, I guess. Halfway decorated, in my opinion. Some people might think it's got plenty of decorations and doesn't need any more. And then, like I said, this one has a lot of tags. This one I did some stenciling on and sewed some of the tea-dyed paper offcut. This one has lots of tags, a little sewn piece. A little bag has, I think, stickers. Yeah, like random stickers inside. This one has lots of different, I think there's 9 or 10 different writing spots that look like, you know, different forms, like ledger paper, just fun things. And the little one on the top, I put a lot of, I think this has some tickets, stickers, and more handmade pieces. Now, the things that will be in the envelopes are different in all of them. But, like I said, everything should coordinate and be things that would look nice, embellishing your journal. And then they're just sewn together, or I'm sorry, tied together with twine. Ooh, I forgot my piece of. Put that back in there, don't I? So that is the aqua purpley of this one. Oh, and in the middle, the cardstock is glued to a bubble wrap, so you have good sound. And then the muslin is on the other side. So that is the first one. The next one, this one is also sewn to bubble wrap. And the enclosure on this one is actually attached. It can be taken out. I did not the enclosure to the back. Show you what I mean by that. It is attached somewhat. It's just run through an eyelet on the back. And I didn't knot it, so you can just pull it out. You could actually hang like a charm or something from this and just leave this as a loose enclosure if you prefer. It has a very pretty jewelry piece on the end. This one has a lot of the greens, purple, orange, kind of turquoise, kind of a rust, burnt sienna. And this is the bookmark dangle piece. The stenciling on the cover. And I will just, this vellum piece has some stamping or stenciling. A lot of stenciling. I did this stenciling. I thought it matched my little piece I had jelly printed. A doily and a leaf charm. This is the wallpaper for this piece. There's a little applique. The belly band with the Shabby Dabby Doo-Dah card. Little charm. Has a little folded over piece that has pockets on each side. little coffee filter, collaged card, and a tag. Lot of extra things you could do to this one. And here is the continued stencil. Very pretty magazine page. Isn't that beautiful? Music paper, map. I tried to coordinate the calendar piece with the outside, the colors that were on the cover. Paperclip charm, some vintage jewelry, and these are the flashcards, coffee filter flashcards. This is splatter painted. This is actually from a calendar. Here's the watercolor piece. And the scrappy bits on the inside. When I did this one, I didn't leave enough room to tuck in the pieces, so I put them on the calendar page. Some ribbon. Here is the flashcard with the ledger page and frou-frou. Another charm, the leaf. This is just a random piece of tea-dyed paper that I thought was beautiful. I had stamped, and then I used some of that old-looking tape to pin it on, or glue it, attach it. How about that? More map. Another piece that I made with a big paper clip. I thought it fit good on this garden picture. Dyed tea-dyed paper is what it's back to. A large paper clip. I think those fat paper clips are cool. There's the continued stencil pages. The index card, large index card that I have put the packing paper, the pattern paper. I've collaged it, backed it to some, no, I don't think I backed this one, I'm sorry. There's music paper on this side. It's kind of a collage of music paper, book page, smushed on some ink, has a vellum tag. And there's my try at the eco dyeing paper. And a little tag with that one. This is a piece of tea-dyed paper that I've made a pocket to go around the paper or page. I believe this is made from packaging. And another unfinished tag that's been stamped and stenciled out of book page. Here is the piece I made from the cellophane bags that I made a pocket out of. Just some writing space, tags. More stenciling. Lots of these loose strings. And these, and here's the stenciling on the back. These are the stacked envelopes show you the color of them. This one I did a stenciled a dragonfly. This has a little pocket with some tags inside. Another little pocket. Another little pocket. This has another stencil. And that is that one. The last one has really pretty charm on the front. That's vintage jewelry too. And I forgot to show you on the other one, it's actually 3 pieces. It's chiffon, lace, and ribbon, and then yellow squiggly showing on the inside. This one is chiffon and some really soft, I don't know what kind of material that is. I guess maybe a heavy cotton, and blue sewn in there. This one does not have bubble wrap in the center. It has an Amazon mailer. And at first I thought I didn't like it as well because it like waves. But then as I worked with it and I made it, I realized I loved it. I loved how it looked. And this one also has tissue paper collage to it to give it the wrinkly and a lot of texture, a lot of splatter paint. This is the bookmark tassel. This one has buttons. And again, they all have one of my paper beads. Inside on this one, it is vellum, but I used texture paste, got carried away with it, thought I didn't like it, but then I realized it looked very antique-y and old, so I used it, and I loved all the colors that came out in it. So this one ended up being a little bit of botanical, I guess. One of the index cards. This one actually has a bee stamp. And here is the stenciling on the front. Well, I'll show you this one since I've already front and back. And I put all 3 colors, the yellow, the burnt orange, and the green. Has some chiffon, more stenciling. Here's the continued stencil. Little fabric piece with a charm. Here's the wallpaper. And here is the index card. This one I have actually made 3 pockets. Small pocket on the front, and then the eco-dyed paper. Sticker. Here is a experiment I did actually on an accident. It was a digital of bees and honeycomb, and I was splatter painting it. And of course, I had just printed it, so I didn't give it time to set the colors, and they ran, and I loved it. I thought it was beautiful, so I just kept doing it. And the calendar is a charm, and the copy collaged flashcards. This is some jelly printing I done, a little sticker. I've sewn some more chiffon and lace at the top. The inside I stamped with lots of botanical theme with butterfly, birds, just some markings. I love this catalog page. It had a number on it, so I had to make sure and keep it. I don't know why it mattered, but I liked it. This pocket has, I just cut out some tickets and some of the leftover scrapbook paper. I didn't decorate them, but just the shape of tickets, some papers, and a tag, music paper, or watercolor page. This one has some metallics in it with the scrappy strips, some splattering, metallic splattering. Here's the flash card. Curly Q. Some of my strings are getting hung up. And this is the bees. I put a little piece of honeycomb and my little Crafted by Christy. Some stamping. There's the calendar page. Belly band. This is a sticker that I thought you could write on it. Fabric tag. Stenciling. This is just a large piece of offcut that was left, and I just put it over the top of the page as a writing spot, but you can certainly cut it, do whatever you like. Bag pocket, writing space. This was a neat thing I did a long time ago. It's photo paper, and I took alcohol inks, put a stencil down and dropped the alcohol ink, and then backed it to tea-dye paper. This is collaged paper. And the back of the book. And the envelopes on this one. Pockets. This one is splatter painted. More splatter painted. Painting. Pocket. And those are the journals, and I hope they have inspired you to play with some paints and colors of your own. I will be listing these in the Etsy shop very soon. I hope you like them. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And check out my Etsy shop if you like these. I have lots of things in there, lots of different things. Thanks for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.